And it's ported down here in Mattapan Square. Now, somebody help me out. Is this supposed to be just a bike lane, or is it supposed to be cars traveling there as well? I ain't seen buses pull into it to pick up passengers at the start, but the question is this a traveling lane? So see how these cars come off of here? They're all traveling in the, they're speeding too, see that? Coming out of Milton, speeding in the bike lane. All of them are doing it right here, look. Everybody's doing it. So the question is this supposed to be a bike lane, or is it supposed to be a travel lane? So I'm gonna call the city of Boston and ask them, is it a travel lane or is it a bike lane? Now, you guys are smart enough to know this. If the lane doesn't go all the way through, continuing all the way down, then it must not be. But look at how many cars come in this lane. And these cars are, the ones that are going like that, they're getting ready to drop their kids off so a bus can pick them up. So that's what they're doing. But you can see all these cars that are in I call it the bike lane, because this, see that right under that car there's a symbol that indicates bike lane. So we'll see. We'll ask the city officials. Right now I'm just documenting what I think is the bike lane. And if cars are supposed to share the lane with the bike lane, the cars are going awfully fast to share it with bikers. So we'll see. The other thing is, if it is a traveling lane, then it's definitely not a passing lane. So cars shouldn't be using this as a passing lane. And this is probably the only symbol you're gonna see down that whole stretch. If you see another symbol, it's gonna be very faint, very faint, until you get to Morton Street, where you see another one. Let's see how many cars travel in this lane here. A lot of school buses out. Early morning for the, even the buses are traveling in that lane. You see that? I'm not too sure if they are. No, they really shouldn't, because look how much space, they be hitting the cars. If there was cars parked at the angle parking here, these buses will be hitting the tip end of those cars. See how much space he has? So it definitely can't be a lane for vehicles. He'd be hitting. Yeah, these cars were angle parked like they normally do on this side of Brothers. He would definitely be he'd be tipping off the tail of these cars for sure. So there's a lot of traffic that comes out of Milton, and it's like everybody's trying to get everywhere. When that light turns green, watch how all the cars start zipping through. It just turned green, so. That's not a traveling lane. This car pulls over to the side. Now he's beeping the horn because he can't go, even though that car shouldn't really pull right there, but it's not a good spot to pull over. Could have pulled into one of these spots right here. Plenty of spots. So he threw a monkey wrench in their plans. So now he's kind of like right there. I'll probably ask a couple of drivers, is that a traveling lane or a bike lane, and see what they say. She actually parked there to go to Dunkin' Donuts. She's crossing the street to go to Dunkin' Donuts. Yeah, there's plenty of spots. She parked in the bike lane to go to Dunkin' Donuts. You imagine that? And this car pulls behind her, or the driver's getting in the car, moving it. I don't know. I don't think this is a traveling lane. At least it's not. Hey, well, you see the double solid line, which kind of indicates the barrier. So see that? It kind of now it tells you right there. See that double solid line? When you go all the way down, that double solid line goes, I think, all the way down the street. If it's a solid line like that, then cars shouldn't be in it. So as soon as these cars move, I see if I can show you what I'm talking about. And that's why the city needs to really mark these roadways more effectively. Let's see what we got here. As soon as these cars move, we can maybe see that lane a little bit better. See that double solid line right there? Or not double. I'm saying solid white line. But it doesn't go all the way either, so that means no passing in that zone. But or no switching lanes, I should say. Yeah, they're not marking this roadway clear enough. So technically, that solid line means is that you can't switch lanes. That's all that means. Because it's not a solid line all the way down. It goes about maybe 50 feet and it stops right there. Stops right there. So now the question is, if it is a bike lane, it's not a safe bike lane because cars are speeding in it. Trucks definitely can't fit in it thoroughly. And look at this, it's like a race right here. Everybody's gonna race for the finish. They're approaching a red light, so that's why they're slowing down. If that wasn't a red light, these cars would be flying. See, there's some parts of Blue Hill Ave that's not wide enough for 3 lanes, so it's definitely not 3 lanes all the way down. And everybody, like right down here, everybody's pretty much doing it because everybody wants to beat the light. Some people are trying to make that right-hand turn at the next intersection right there. It's about 6:15 in the morning, so you're gonna get a lot of traffic, people coming into the city. By the way, they took those car counters down sometime last week. A lot of traffic going straight down. Now, even if this was a 3-lane, which I don't think it is, it's not safe for cars to be speeding as fast as they're going. If the speed limit is only a friendly reminder, they post all over the city of Boston, 20 miles an hour. Now, you tell me if you think these cars are doing 20 miles an hour when they zip through the light. Well, they're gonna slow down because they got a red light, so you can't go too fast up there. So it's a lot of traffic with, we'll call it 3 lanes because they're utilizing 3 lanes. So imagine what happens when the state or the city or both tries to turn this into 2 lanes. Or 1 lane, I should say, because when they put that center running bus lane, you're only going to have 1 lane to travel in. Now this bus driver did not do a walk around on his bus because he got a headlight out. There's no way he did a walk around on that bus in the morning if he got a headlight out. Now I was told you're supposed to carry extra bulbs on your bus to change them. If you don't change them, you're supposed to have a technician change them. The bus yard should not leave the bus with faulty equipment. The bus driver should not leave the bus yard with faulty equipment, I should say. That's no difference if your brakes didn't work. You don't want to be taking the bus out of the yard if your brakes didn't work. Or your windshield wipers didn't work, you know, stuff like that. All your safety devices, you want those to be working. And somebody's supposed to do it. If you don't do it, somebody's supposed to do the walk around on the bus. Preferably the driver should do it, because the driver should be more aware of his bus than anybody else. You can't rely on somebody else doing your safety check for you. So you're supposed to check. You're actually supposed to do a lot. When I was growing up, you had to check all the fluids. You had to check all your gauges, check all your lights, the horn, your wipers, tire pressure. There was a lot of stuff you had to check on the bus before you even took it and drove it. I think this light changes. I think this light doesn't phase out fast enough. I think it should be a certain time when it's like when there's no cars coming out of that side street. This light should stay green longer. And that's another thing the city of Boston needs to work on. Like there are times we need to pull traffic from there. And these cars are all they got to stop behind the bus so they can't travel. So they got to stop behind the bus, which you got to slow down somehow, some way. But as you can see, there's a lot of traffic that travels in this so-called bike lane. Look at that, almost a near accident on that one. The guy almost, well, he did cut him off. I can't say he almost cut him off. So that GMC just cut that car off that's coming up right there. And now I'm curious to know, is this supposed to be a shared lane, or is it supposed to be strictly for bikes? Because if it's a shared lane, then that's even worse, because the cars are going way too fast to be sharing that lane with bikes. Now, all I can remember, Blue Hill Ave never had 3 lanes. It only had 2. So I don't know where the 3rd lane came from. And it's kind of misleading, because if you come off of that roadway over there with the 3rd lane, you're assuming that lane comes all the way down here. So either it's supposed to be a 3rd lane, or it's not supposed to be a 3rd lane. Very few people are actually doing 20 miles an hour. The majority of them are going pretty fast. No, we'll definitely inquire. I don't know. I'll ask some city officials and see if they ask if they have the right. How you say it? If they have the right answer. Alright guys, they give you a little bit more footage and I'm gonna head up out of here on this one. Just want to show you a little activity in the bike lane. At least I think it's a bike lane. Except good morning. That guy's pretty good on the bike. I watch him every morning. He could hoof it up that whole roadway at a pretty good clip. So these guys are flying. Get the 28. The car's just sitting on the green light. Don't know if he got preoccupied or what. Alright guys, I'm headed out of here. I just want to show you a little activity on the what I call the bike lane. I don't know if you guys tell me what do you think it is. Do you think it's a bike lane or if it's for both? And if it is for both, then the cars are going way too fast for the bikers. Alright guys, I'm headed out of here. I'll catch you guys for the next one.